Hey everyone, welcome to Mighty Minutes with Miss Debbie, where we are educating our future one baby at a time. So, as you all can see, we have a very special guest today. So, I'm going to let this lovely young lady introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Paula Kirby. I am a new author of a children's book. I have been in education for about 10 plus years. I didn't start off in education, I started off in journalism and then it expanded to something else. But um, what else could I tell you about myself? Oh, my love for babies is out of this world. So that's how it all started with my passion for children. Even though I don't have my own babies, it's just the fact that I love other people's children. So that's where it started from.
And a little bit about Miss Kirby is that her and myself, we work together at a school in DC. So, shout out to all the DC educators. It is not an easy job, but we do it with grace and ease. So, shout out to you and everyone else out there, especially you, because you teach pre K with the little ones.
Yes, it's a work in it's a
Yes.
work in progress because they're so, and I think that people get intimidated by the small ones. I'm like, they cry all the time. It's nothing what anybody expect. It's just like it's so crazy. It's like first graders, but they're just tiny. People just so intimidated by their youth and by their size. They think that they're unable to do certain things, and they're very capable to do everything. So that's why I love my age group.
You know, that's 1000% true. And that's one of the reasons why I have Mighty Minutes with Miss W to show parents that, starting from young, you can be your child's first teacher and build up those foundational skills so that they're prepared once they get to kindergarten and first grade. They are so capable. So, shout out to you for that. So, I know that you're a new author, but I kind of want to know a little bit about your experience with reading and literacy as a child.
So I was really different from my family. Some of it's okay. So I have six sisters. I'm the youngest of it's six of us. So it was really weird because my family really weren't readers. So it's just like I was just in this place of my own, and I grew up in an urban background. So it was just like I had to find quiet places, and the only way that I was able to escape was just to read and write, and that's always what I wanted to do. But I just had this dream. It's just like when I read, it took me to places that I've never been, and I'm like, that exists, especially never leaving the area I was in. So it just took me to different places that I've never seen before, never thought about before. Like it can make me cry, it can make me happy. It's just like reading takes you to a whole different level. And that's why I think I wanted to give to other people.
Right. I'm glad that you said that. Staying on the fact that reading was kind of an outlet for you to get away and escape. I think that's so important for our kids, especially the ones in those marginalized communities. It's so important for them to know that reading is a way to empower yourself and to really expand your mind to the point that when you do have a chance to do things, you'll be able to have that background knowledge and also just be able to escape the normalcy of the craziness that you may or may not live in. So definitely that is a great point. So can you tell us a little bit about the book that you have without giving too much away?
So the book, I don't want to. Okay, so first I was really excited because it's also a coloring book. So I think that's what made me like, oh, it's interactive, but it's also fun. Yes, it's Ooh, I Can't Wait. And basically, the story is I wanted it to be a predominant African American family because my students don't really see that. And there are a lot of books that DCPS provides, but I feel as though there are not really a lot of African American families who are prominent and very just able that they're able to see like themselves.
Right.
So that was that. But the book is basically about a young boy who is his antics are driving his parents, well, his mom and his sister crazy. And he's just excited for his dad to come home. And I think that also I wanted that dad love that I have never received. So I think that's why I also put that in the book.
That makes sense. Now, I did want to add that I, of course, have my own copy. I'm so thankful for it. Thank you, Miss Kirby.
No
And my
problem.
son, he really enjoyed the book. The title, "Ooh, I Can't Wait." Every time we got to that part and I pointed to him, he was so excited to say, "Ooh, I can't wait." And he loved the coloring pages. So it's definitely cool to get a 2-in-1 in this book where you get to read it and you also get a chance to color with your child. So that was super dope and creative. I really appreciated that part of it. I think you kind of touched on it, but what do you think was your driving force or inspiration for writing this book?
I really wanted to see I wanted my students to see another image, but I also wanted that child in me to come out through my writing. Like, I know that if I've always wanted that feeling, that it's other people that always wants that feeling. So the drive for me to write it was to not only inspire, but to have fun. Like, I feel as though everyone, if you were to read this book, that you could relate. So I wanted to inspire all, even people my age, and to let them know that you can do anything. Like, you can write a book, you can do anything. And because I know that sometimes literacy is hard for younger students, I try to make it an enjoyable experience. So
Right.
that at the end, they can even retell this story their own way through their own coloring experiences. They can add things, they can take things away. So I just wanted that for them. So that was really my inspiration.
Right. And I think that what you're doing is amazing. Like, you're literally teaching the little ones. And then on top of that, you're an author yourself. So when you pulled out your book and you read it to them, I bet they were just like, wow, my
Yeah.
teacher's an author. So I know that was a cool experience for them.
It was so weird because it was a cool experience for them, but a nerve-wracking experience for me. And I've always read to my students, but I think it was the fact, and I knew the book from the like the back of my hand, and I was still like, and they were so excited, but they're so young, so they're like, "Ooh, me can't wait," and I'm like, "Okay, all right now." But it was eye-opening at the same time, because as I was explaining to the children, our author writes the words, the illustrator draws the pictures. They, after I said the name, they, "Oh, she got the same name as you." I was like, "It is me, friends. It's me."
That's right. That's right. And then you also got a chance to really get a feel for if your book was actually good, because if it wasn't, they would have said, "Miss Kirby, I don't like that book. That book is," they tell the truth,
Yeah,
basically.
they do. They'll be like, I'm like, thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down. And we asked them, like, what parts of the story did you like? What parts of the story didn't you like? Would you like to draw a picture about the story? Like, so those were different things that we were able to do with our students. And it was really, really fun. I think because I've done it with so many stories, and the fact that I had to do it with mine, it was amazing. It was just an eye-opening experience that I never thought that I would be a part of. But yeah.
I mean, that's definitely the key to keeping literacy, making sure that kids are having fun from an early age. So that's awesome. Now, what do you hope for students to gain from reading books like yours?
I want them to have fun. I want them to see themselves in stories that they've never seen. Like, prime example, like today is a celebration of the Crown Act. I want them to embrace every part of them, from their head to their feet. And that's why I made sure to include the family of how I see my family. Like, my sister and my mom working all the time, and my dad, like, even though he wasn't there, that person that I wanted to be there. So
Mhm.
I just want them to gain the experience of love and passion. And even though this book is more centered into fun and engaging activities, the next one will be more literacy, different letters and different shapes and things and it'll also be an activity book. So it'll be much larger. And it's just like all of these ideas running through my brain, but the beginning of that book is already complete. So I'm just trying to just bring the light of us into our children, because I know
Absolutely.
that's what they need to see. Like, I can honestly say, like, out of all the 100% books at my school, in my classroom, I could say about 10% of them have an all Black family. And I
Right.
wanted that for my kids. So that's my drive, to
I
let
mean,
them know, oh, this love is real.
right. I mean, that representation is so, so, so important. So um, that's awesome. Now, you kind of mentioned that you're about to start a new book.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
awesome. Now, with this one, how long was the process from conception to getting it published?
Woo. This was a process. That book was a process because now writing the book, it only took me about 15, 20 minutes because I was laying down and it came to me really, really quick.
Right.
So that part was easy. The part that was hard was getting the illustrator, getting the book printed, finding a publisher, finding all of these things to make this whole project come together. And then I had editing issues. So that pushed the book back a month. Like it was always, I just felt like, to be honest, I felt like it was always something, but it gave me the drive to want to do it more. So I can say it took the whole process, I could say a total about 7 months, 8 months, and it's a children's story. And
Right.
it was just me going back and forth with the illustrator and then me going back and forth with the publisher. And it's just like, everybody is not in the same states that we're in.
Right.
They're not the same. The
Especially during coronavirus too. It's probably that much more harder.
Oh my goodness, it was so difficult. So I think that process, now that I know that process, this time it wouldn't take that long because I'm able to be aware more of my mistakes and make sure they don't happen again. So hopefully that's a much easier process next time. But this process, I can say, yeah, it was months before I was satisfied with my final product.
Right. I mean, with this being a children's book, I don't think people realize how much effort it is. Like, it really is a passion project. If you don't want to do it, if you're not that serious here, if you're just in it for the money, you're just going to fall to the wayside. It takes a while to do it. So I'm definitely happy you were able to accomplish that goal and you're on to the next. So that is great. So before we wrap up, where can we find Ooh, I Can't Wait?
Oh, it's on my website. I have a website. So it's also my author's page. So it's paulajkirby.com. So on that website, it'll be that book, the ebook, and then there's a tire that you can purchase with the book. I recently changed one of the shirts so that it looks like the sketching page, so that you're able to color the shirt as well. So I think that'll be a nice experience, excuse me, for families to do together. So I thought I added that one too, but it's author space, so all my paid books will be there. So it's paulajkirby.com.
Nice, nice. Now I feel like you're being a little bit modest. Are you some type of like stylist or something too? Like, do you have other stuff going on?
Yes.
Yes. I'm nosy, Rosie. Sorry.
It's okay. I also have a clothing boutique. And it's so funny. I started the boutique when my mom was like really, 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 really sick. And then as time went on, she started getting sicker and sicker. So I couldn't really invest in it. So then I had shut it down, then opened it back up. And then my mom had passed. And then I shut it down and opened it back up. It was like a whole entire process. So I just really want people to understand that when you start something, you're going to fail. Like, it's not going to always be, oh, I'm going to succeed. You're going to fail. But that failure is going to make you so much more stronger. And you're going to learn from those things. Like, it's been plenty of times it's like, I'm wiping my hands with Ooh, I Can't Wait because it's just not for me. Or I'm wiping my hands with the boutique because it's not doing this. And you have to really realize, like you said, you're not doing it for the money. Like, even though you want it to be a lucrative business, you're absolutely, especially selling children's books, you're not doing it for the money. Like, to be
right.
So, but yes, I am a boutique owner.
Awesome. So I'll make sure to put that information in the description box for you guys as well. We want to support our educators, our entrepreneurs, and we're trying to elevate. That's what we're trying to do. So before I let you go, before we wrap this up, do you have any final thoughts or things that you want to share about your book or yourself?
Yes. Okay. So one thing I want to share is, even if you get knocked down 10 times, you can get back up. Like, I just want people to know, like, I am literally my mother's youngest child. And my mother and our bond was like unbreakable. Like that like literally unbreakable. And her passing was a state of letting me know that I can survive anything. So again, that failure level is always going to be something thrown in your way. Nothing. And then I had to read. I'm reading a book and it's really good. It's called Untamed. Mm-hmm. But it's basically stating, and I had to learn this, like, nobody said the world was going to be perfect. So for us to have this perfect mindset that the world is going to be perfect, I don't know where this came from, but we just have to find our own inner peace and our own happiness. And I think that's what writing does for me. Like my inner peace and my happiness, just finds what makes you happy.
Right. I mean, I appreciate you saying that getting back up and trying again through the failure, because as educators and adults, sometimes kids sometimes get intimidated because of failure, but it's important that we show them that it's a process and that we let them know that it's not forever, and that as long as you keep trying, that path is going to light up for you. So
consistency is key.
Right. And you have to want it. You have to intrinsically want it that bad. But with that said, Miss Kirby, thank you so much for joining us on Mighty Minutes with Miss Debbie. We look forward to seeing everything that you have to offer.
Thank you. I appreciate the love you've shown. I appreciate what you're doing, so that it's just crazy, because I just see all of these educators just prospering and moving to different things, but still in the process being there for students. And I just want to thank you for creating this platform, because it's amazing. And I just can't wait to see what you bring to the table, because I know, just from the way you taught your students, I have faith in you. I
appreciate that. Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you guys for joining us on Mighty Minutes with Miss Debbie. See you later.
Bye.